sacrifice. All right, and that's also building up your spiritual bank account. All right, meaning you're going to have some type of leverage. So if you make a mistake, you'll have like something to fall back on. Like, well, I am, you're still a man of the Lord. Even though you make a mistake, you still got forgiveness in your house shot. All right, you're not basically a piece of shit. You actually have works that can be verified. All right, because if you don't have no works, you're more likely for the Lord to not defend you. You got to be in a position where the Most High will have His angels defend you. And you can't be in a position where you're not defendable. All right, and you become defendable when you do the work. All right, and you actually come to camp, act like you actually give a damn. All right, but if you're not a brother that's putting forth his proper work, why would the Lord? Why would Yahweh Shai defend you? Right? You gotta be defendable. You gotta be able, like if Yahweh Shai is gonna be our advocate, you have to actually have a sort of character so He can defend you. Like if Yahweh Shai can go to the Father to defend you, he ain't gonna go to defend you and you a piece of shit. You got no works, you got no faith. You gotta be defendable. Like if you go get a bank loan, you can't go to the bank loan with bad credit. You gotta go to get a bank loan or apply for a credit card. You gotta have a record that's verifiable. All right. And give me Micah will talk about tithes and offerings. You robbed me of tithes and offerings. Y'all should have other tithe scriptures ready to go. That's what the lesson is about.
1 Corinthians 9 and 11.
Read what you got.
This 1 Corinthians 9 and 11 if we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if you shall reap your carnal things?
Read it again. That's a good scripture.
1 Corinthians 9 and 11. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things?
Carnal there. So you're supposed to help the leadership out. And we send our tithes to elders and apostles, which is 10%, which is required of Israel to feed the church. All right? Give me where Peter's said we are buildings. We're being built. All right? Read that again. No, you say where you at. Read that again. I want to look up some words there.
This 1 Corinthians 9 and 11. And first slide. If we have sown unto you spiritual things. Spiritual
things, I mean, we're giving you the most powerful amount of information you ever had in your life. All right? The power that we delivering into you is immeasurable, invaluable. All right? Versus your 10%. All right? It's invaluable. The power that you're going to receive from Yahweh Shai, the visions, the dreams, the safety and security, they can't even weigh the 10%. All right? And remember, you pay money to fucking Esau. You pay money to Yahweh Shai. Take care of the brothers that gave you spiritual blessings. That gave you the most important and most powerful information that you've ever received in your life. And all you got, and all required of you financially anyway, all right, is 10%. And then give what you can. You can't give 10%, give what you can, but the law is 10%. All right. So read that again.
1 Corinthians 9 and 11. If we have sown unto you spiritual things, is it a great thing if we shall reap your carnal things?
Yeah, carnal. Go ahead.
I got the NIV.
Go ahead, read
as well. This NIV, it says, if we have sown spiritual seed among you, is it too much if we reap a material harvest from you?
Yeah, material harvest. I mean, harvest is what you get from the field, which is you working. All right? So you would just, whatever resources you got. Today, it's the dollar bill, the currency that we use. We're not going to give the elders a leg of lamb. Or give the elders a bunch of canned goods. Because then we don't, because money is more transferable. All right? And we live in a different system today. You got to pay rent. Back then, you just had the house, you just owned the fucking house. Or you live with family members in a big ass mansion or something. Today is more, the laws are more draconian. We don't have the freedom to move about as we did. Everything's much more difficult. All right. So as our tradition, it's transfer money. As soon as it reaches 30 minutes, you can break it down, turn it off. It's already off. Light's not red.
Oh, it said SD card is too slow.
Yeah, when it does that, it's cool now, but when it does that, it'll turn off and start it back up.
Yeah,
That's all. You good though.
It's weird.
It fucks up sometimes. The card is the right speed. Yeah. It's just the software, I guess, or whatever. Maybe the temperature. Maybe just getting fucking old. We saw technology.
So it's rolling now?
Yeah, no. The stream is running.
Oh, the stream's running.
All right. You have any word? Well, matter of fact, look up carnal things.
Yeah.
So it's not just one thing. It's not just. So you got some assholes that we gonna give the leaders a bundle of fucking Adidas socks or some shit, or some underwear, fucking drawers, and fucking A-shirts. Why the fuck? Why would we do that? Money is more transferable. You can get what they need. Right? Again, life was different back then. You know, like we would literally have to have a warehouse. Then we had to have somebody over distribution. We got leg of lamb came in this week. Anybody need a leg of lamb? It's kind of foolish now. You know, anybody need some spring mix, cabbage, avocados. You know, money is more transferable. That's more feasible. That's more tangible. But then they can get what they need with it. All right. What are you about to look up? Carnal.
Yeah, carnal. It says carnal things. It says sarkikos is a Greek word. It says fleshly, carnal, having the nature of the flesh, under the control of the animal appetites.
Right. So you can't say, oh, the elders just want money. It tells you carnal things. Money is carnal, all right? Not just a damn whole chicken from the farmer's market, all right? Money is carnal, all right? And they give me about money as a defense and all that. Give me that. So read that again.
Yeah, it says fleshly, carnal, having the nature of the flesh.
Fleshly. So you're supposed to be giving those things to the leadership, to 10%. Fleshly, carnal things. Go ahead.
Under the control of the animal appetites.
You might think money is evil. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. You're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
Is that something else significant?
It says pertaining to the flesh, to the body. And then, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so you can't just try to partition it into one area that you find convenient. All right? So instead of carnal things, and which the most carnal thing is money. All right?
Reason.
Yeah, what's that?
This is Tobit 12 and 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. For alms doth deliver from death, and shall purge away all sin.
Yeah, meaning give away your gold. Okay, give away your silver, your gold. Back then there was real money out there. So now we work with the Federal Reserve notes.
Yep, it says those that exercise alms and righteousness shall be filled with life.
Right, so yeah, so give your substance, give your 10%, your alms. But today, which would be FRNs.
Yeah, and like it says, a little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. So, you know, you give what you can, right? As long as you're doing within righteousness, you know.
Okay. What else did I call for?
You said money's the defense?
Yeah, I got it.
Read it.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 verse 12. It says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Yeah, so it's very wise, all right, to give alms, because that's what the Lord requires. All right, I broke down the order on the judges in one of my previous videos. Turn the camera off. Gotta hold the power button. I'll read it again.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 7 verse 12. It says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Wisdom gives life to them that have it. So if you have wisdom, you gotta take it out the case. So if you had the wisdom, you would know that it's the right thing to do is to give alms. Right? The elders are not going out buying, Ferraris or getting luxury apartments. Right? The elders are using the money to live on and to distribute to brothers that are in need. Right? That's what the tithes are supposed to be used for. Right? And the elders all still work too, by the way. It's not like they're just sitting on the ass. Now, when it comes to a point where they can't work, then they would use the money in the same way the Levites used it. All right? They would still go out and preach. They would still fulfill their duties. All right? They just wouldn't have to, like work in the field. All right? And they had that right. All right? They don't go in there. They don't go in there. That's why. So if you wise, you would know that. All right? So, with all thy getting, get understanding. Get that? With all thy getting, get understanding. Where you at? Where you at?
1 Peter chapter 2 and 5. It says, ye also are lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High and by Yahweh Shai.
Read it again.
Come on, this is 1 Peter chapter 2 and 5. It says, ye also are lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High Yahweh by Yahweh Shai.
Get Deuteronomy 14 and 22.
I got that wisdom with all they get it.
Read it.
It's Proverbs 4 and 7. It says, wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
With all thy getting, get understanding. All right. So what we're saying here is not an evil thing. All right. It's a required thing. It was a thing that was set up to feed the church, to make sure the church could abide and to help brothers when they need help, right? And to help the elders, especially when they become like elderly, when they can't physically work anymore. Right? It's part of our heritage and the law. You're supposed to take care of your parents. Right? Deuteronomy
22? Yeah. You got it? 22?
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year.
Yeah, so back then we had fields. So this is what you do. You would give the substance of your land. So it's being a little more specific here. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God, thy power, in the place which he shall choose to place his name there. The tithes of thy corn, of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks,
Yep.
that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy power always.
Right. Yeah. So you know that you giving up something. That means you giving up your resources to a superior force. That shows respect. All right. For the leadership and for the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. Because the end of it was that thou may learn to fear. So obviously there's a point to it. Because you're submitting your resources to a higher power. So read that verse again.
Verse 23.
That tells you who's in charge.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy power, in the place which he shall choose to place his name there.
Right.
And the tithes of thy corn, and of thy wine, and of thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy power always.
Yep. Continue to read.
And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not be able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy power shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy power has blessed thee,
Go ahead.
then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand.
In other words, convert what what you reap from your fields, cattle, whatever, seeds, sell it and turn it into gold and silver. All right, go ahead.
And
Read it again, 25.
verse 25. Then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy power shall choose.
What?
And thou shalt bestow that money for whosoever thou soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whosoever, or for whatsoever thou shalt thy soul desireth, and thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy power, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household.
What?
And the Levi that is within thy gates, thou shalt not forsake him, for he hath no part nor inheritance with thee.
Right, so the heads of our church are acting as the Levites. All right, so go ahead. They're the head of the church, the apostles and the elders. Go ahead. So they're not supposed to forsake them. All right? But they didn't receive, the Levites didn't receive like land. But they received like certain cities that were in between all the tribes. All right, go ahead.
At the end of 3 years thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates.
Go ahead.
And the Levite, because he have no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within the gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy power may bless thee in all the works of thine hand which thou doest.
All right, so the tithe is supposed to be used for the heads and for the poor of Israel. All right, which is the brothers, the brotherhood. All right, not just any person. All right, right now. But back then, you know, we were all under the law. All right, we were all you could say we were all sort of in the truth. So those tithes and offerings belonged to all of Israel while we were still in our kingdom. But now it's partitioned in a way where we look after the believers. And even if some random person need help, we might need help them. But mainly it's the tithes are just used for the brotherhood. For the Levites, it represents the apostles and the elders. And for the poor, it represents brothers that need help from time to time, every now and again. That's what the tithe, the 10% is supposed to be used for. All right? Read that 29 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 verse 29. And the Levite, because he have no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger and the fatherless.
Stranger is Gar, which is the Israelite foreigner that lived in another land that came back to the main camp. What?
And the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy power may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest.
Yeah, so Yahweh thy God bless thee in all the work of thy hand which thou doest. Yeah, so if you give the alms, why? Because that helps the congregation. All right, the Lord's going to bless us. All right, that's why we give our alms. All right, that's why we're not niggardly. We keep the commandment, and we keep Yahweh Shai's commandment, the law of faith. All right. So do we have Micah or?
You want that one?
Yeah.
This the book of Malachi, chapter 3, and verse 8, and it reads, "Will a man rob the Most High power? Yet have ye robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings."
And tithes and offerings. So look up offerings. I think we looked up tithes already. So look up offerings.
Okay. So going into the word for offerings would be the Hebrew word tha or rama, which means a contribution or an offering, a heavy offering, an offering of grain, money, etc. Also, they got in there like oblation, okay, a gift, yeah, especially in sacrifice or as tribute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, tithes or offerings. So that's what you're required to give, and you give of your own free will.
Oh, cheerful.
When you might have abundance, or you just might feel like, giving. We're not like spending the money on ourselves. We're relaying that to the camp fund, or to the apostles. Right, which represent the Levites. Right? They're the leadership. Right?
Got another one if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is gonna be the book of let me see, Saki. It's gonna be the book of, I think, Deuteronomy, right? Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 4 says, "Thou shalt not muzzle the ox when he treadeth out the corn."
Yeah, and that represents the workman. All right, then you got to feed the ox while he's working. You can't just have the ox working and you're not feeding the ox, giving him nourishment. And nourishment represents the tithes. All right.
Other ones.
You got one? Yeah, go what you got. Get Proverbs.
This is
15,
2 Corinthians
15:22.
9 and
Yeah,
6.
Proverbs 15:22.
But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly, and he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
Yeah, so give what's required to you, and if you can give more, give more. Now you don't gotta give more every time. Just calculate when you want to give more, But at least give your tithes, your 10%, because it is necessary. All right, it's nothing to do with brothers trying to take advantage of another brother. It is required by the law, and that's how we run our church. All right.
I got a precept.
So read what I asked for
Yep.
first.
It's Proverbs 15,
I'm
verse
sorry,
22.
Can you, read down to 7?
Read over again.
2 Corinthians 9 and 7. Every man according as he purposeth in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for Yahweh loveth a cheerful giver.
Not grudgingly. Good point. Yeah, not grudgingly. Y'all love a cheerful giver. So basically, you gotta get your fucking life in order, to the best you can. You might need advice from other brothers to help you out, but you gotta be in a position where you can give. Right? Even if you can't give 10% for whatever reason, you still gotta give something. All right? Your excuse shouldn't be, I can't give 10%, so I don't give anything.
Yeah, you got to look,
There was
to
a
change, you got to look to change it.
right.
So you might be in that position now, but the ultimate mentality should be, well, how can I improve? And then you work towards that goal of improving. The body has needs, so we can run more efficiently.
Yeah, precept. Read your
Yeah.
Proverbs first.
It's Proverbs 15, verse 22. It says, without counsel, purposes and are disappointed. But in the multitude of counselors, they are established.
Right, so when you got issues, questions, you got to have a counsel on. All right? If you don't have a counsel, you ain't going to ever put whatever it is on your mind to rest. All right? You got to have counsel. All right? What you have?
This Ecclesiastes chapter 35, or 35 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 8. Or actually, I'll start at verse 7. It says, damn, it's a lot. I'll start at 6. It says, the offering of the righteous maketh the altar fat, and the sweet savor thereof is before the Most High. The sacrifice of a just man is acceptable, and the memorial thereof shall never be forgotten. Give the Lord his honor with a good eye, and diminish not the first fruits of thine hands. In all thy gifts show a cheerful countenance, and dedicate thy tithes with gladness.
Self-explanatory. Right? So give to the Lord your 10%. And say you can't do it every time, you're still going to eventually do it. Sometimes you might be short. All right? So the Lord not looking at you like you're a wicked person because you were short one week, or short a couple of weeks, or short a lot of weeks. As long as you're putting forth that effort, and you're eventually going to fulfill it. Because every brother can't be broke every single week. Sometimes you'll fulfill it, sometimes you might not. So the Lord knows your heart. Right? And we're not like trying to turn you upside down and take your money. It's not the point. The point is just you making sure that you're right with the Most High, and that you're actually serious about the camp that you're in, the faith, right? And that you actually believe. Because it is a law. All right. And it's a law, and it's also spiritual. All right.
One verse. Right. It says, "Give unto the Most High according as He hath enriched thee, and as thou hast gotten, give with a cheerful eye."
Yeah, give with a cheerful eye. You know, just have your shit together. You know.
Yeah, if I got to add to that too, it says, read that part about how the Lord enriched thee.
Yeah. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 35 and verse 10. "Give unto the Most High according as He hath enriched thee."
Yeah, according as He hath enriched thee. Remember, anything that you got, whether it be a new job, more money, back in the time when you actually did have land and you were tilling the land and you had all your cattle and all that stuff and all that increase that you had, that was obviously from the Lord. The Lord makes all increases. So you got to give that increase, back, because that's how you show that you got it from the Lord, and then you're giving it back to the Lord. Same basically the water,
Right. And I read about converting the resources into money.
Yep.
If it's too big or too heavy for you to carry, you read that.
Yep.
Convert it into money.
Yep.
So now today, like I also said, that's what we do. That's the medium of exchange. We just convert everything into money.
Yep.
Like it's actually being used and stored. It's not like back in the ancient world. We don't have farms to plant crops and all that. So we get 10% of the seed and all that.
Yep.
So everything is transferred into money.
I do have precept too.
But he had one.
Last precept. Verse 11. Ecclesiasticus chapter 35:11. "For the Lord recompenseth and will give thee 7 times as much."
Yeah, so remember, you're building up your spiritual bank account. You're preparing for the hour of martial law, the implant. So that's what you're giving. You're not giving to make another man rich. We're not getting rich. I mean, the elders are not getting rich. All right? They store the money, and then when it's needed, they use it. When brothers need money, or other elders need money, they'll use it. All right? So, you have something?
Oh yeah.
Read what you got.
It's Did you bring out Tobit 4?
I think so. I did read Tobit earlier. Yeah. Well, you read it again. Go ahead, read it out.
All right, Con. Tobit 4:5. It says, "My son, be mindful of the Lord our power in all thy days, and let not thy will be set to sin or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of unrighteousness. If thou deal truly, thy doings shall prosperly succeed to thee and to all them that live justly. Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of the Most High shall not be turned away from thee. If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly. If thou hast but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little.
Yep.
For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity.
Yep.
Because thy alms do deliver from death, and suffereth not to come into darkness.
Yep. We know how important charity is. We know how important giving alms is, right? We know the importance of those things, and that gives us our life, man. That's part of the law also. We know that obeying the law and the commandments is also a way of gaining life. But charity, and giving alms is a huge part of this ministry. Everybody want to see, like they get a new job, get a brand new paycheck, they get a pay raise, and they want to think about how, all the things they're going to do with their money, versus first looking, okay, well, first off, the water Yahweh shop for giving me this. We got to take that into consideration, that all that was given from the Most High, and then, okay, how can I help out the Akim? How can I give that, give back to the apostles and elders who've been laboring and teaching his word, and basically allowing us to understand that of all things come from the Most High. Because in our ignorance, we just thought we got everything, right. We came from our own vanity, right. But that's not how it is, man. It all comes from the Lord. You got a precept you say? What do you got?
Ecclesiastic.
Can you get me Deuteronomy 32 real quick about how we can cover that? About how
Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
So you read that again?
Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Give to the godly man and help not the sinner.
There you go.
Because there's a saying in the world,
Because you really think about it, the only thing you're doing is transferring wealth from your right hand to your left hand. And we all a part of one body. And it's a saying in the world, one hand wash the other and they both wash the face. So you're actually giving to yourself, or you're helping yourself out when you get wrong.
And ultimately, you're helping out Yahweh Shai. I got the precept on that. You know, when, you got that precept? All right, keep looking. I'm gonna bring this out real quick. This is Deuteronomy 20. Deuteronomy, yo. This is Matthew 25 and verse. I'll start at verse 31 and read quickly to the point. It says, "When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw thee with a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in person and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me."
Right, and that's helping out the brotherhood, and we're specifically talking about, tithes, giving you 10%, right, and your offerings, every now and again, all right. So that's how you help the Lord, by helping out the brotherhood with money, all right. And every brother should work. Every brother should have a job, all right, full time, 40, 80 hours, whatever, a week, 40, 60 hours a week, whatever. Get your money. That's two things you should be focused on. Three things, a lot of things, but coming to camp, fulfilling your spiritual duties, trying to stay healthy, and working, getting money. That's what you should be focused on. All right?
I got the precept I wanted earlier. This is just to back up what the brother.
The brother had one. You said you gonna give him.
Oh, did you find it? Did you find it? Because I found it.
Oh,
yeah. It's 1 Samuel 2 and 6. It says, Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh's, and he hath set the world upon them. So there you have it, man. The Lord is what makes rich and makes poor. So when you get made with a little bit of extra money or whatnot, or you get blessed with a little bit of extra money, be wise to give that back to the Lord.
And a lot of times when the Lord makes you poor, it's just a trial anyway.
Yep,
it's not that He wants you to be destitute.
Right.
Because the Scripture tells you about never seen the righteous begging the bread in the streets, roughly paraphrasing. It's just a trial, that's all. Some of you just, when you get hit, smacked in the face, you think you lost a fight. You just got hit, that's all. You just got to keep moving, bobbing, weaving, whatever techniques, boxing techniques or whatever, and just keep moving forward. Don't give up. You hit at one position, change to another position. There was this, I think there was this, I forget, but this girl, she was running and she stumbled, I think, like right early on in the race. She got up and she ended up freaking coming all the way back around and winning first place, even though she was way behind too. But that's the thing, you might stumble and you might look like, oh damn, I fucked up. Like, is it even worth racing to the finish line? Of course it is, man. Of course you got to get back up and keep going, man. Even if it does feel like you fell down and you might be out. Like the scriptures say, a just man fall down 7 times, but get it up again. So you get back up, you don't fucking pity yourself and all that, and you do right, going forward. You give it your all.
I got a quick one. This is Mark chapter 8, verse 36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So yeah, like you see like certain people like rappers or whatever, they sign a deal, get a big check. What do? They spend it on cars, clothes, jewelry, nothing that profits them. All right, but us, you know, if we get that opportunity, all right, we get a job, have a better situation. All right, we're gonna do what we can to, you know, something to give it to something that has profit. All right, which is, you know, giving alms to the brotherhood.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. And get Romans.
Yeah, that should be one of your goals, to make money to help your body out. That should be on your mind every day. Making money so you can help the brotherhood out. That's the purpose of life. That's why we're doing this thing. So we can be stronger and not weaker.
Right. Yeah, look how much money the Catholic Church get, you know? They're the richest church on the planet, I think, Catholic Church.
They got all those.
So they get plenty of money, and they tell you a bunch of damn lies, and they're child molesters. So, and the people still make them rich. We're none of those things, all right? And we're still poor. So, you could at least give you 10%. 12 and 9.
Romans chapter 12, verse 9, it says, let love be without dissimulation, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good.
Yeah, without dissimulation means to be sincere. Be sincere when you give. In reference to types, but in general, you know, be sincere. When you go about, when you deal with brothers, be honest. All right. Read it again. Read the next verse.
Con. It says, let love be without dissimulation, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good.
Yeah, abhor that which is evil, cleave that which is good. Yeah, so if you see evil, you gotta address it. All right, you gotta address it. Don't rest judgment. Extend it, which means to extend, to put off. All right. What?
It says, be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another.
Yeah, preferring one another. And put another brother ahead of yourself. All right? Be considerate. All right? I think that was it all right there. Well, no.
Nope.
Well, no,
More?
yeah, what you got? Go to 1 Timothy?
No.
1 Timothy? Yeah, go 1 Timothy 5. We're going to go into some womanly duties. All right? Just in case you're confused about how to treat your king. All right? 1 Timothy 5, and you can start from like... well, start from 1. 1? Start from 1, 5 and 1. It goes through a couple of different things, but let's just read it.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father.
But entreat him as a father. All right?
And the younger men as brethren.
Yeah, all right.
The elder woman as mothers.
Yep.
And the younger as sisters, with all purity.
Yep. What?
Honor widows that are widows indeed.
What?
But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to shew pity at home.
Piety.
Piety at home, and to requite their parents. Parents.
It's cut off right there. Go ahead.
For that is good and acceptable before the Most High.
Yeah, so the widow is supposed to teach the children. What?
Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate, trusting the Most High and continueth in supplications and prayers night and day.
What?
But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
Yeah, so you had like the women that turn up, they go to clubs, party. You know, they're really dead inside. They're looking for something that they're never going to find. All right? Monkey branching is the term they use. Yeah, but they're looking for something they're never going to find. Which is the perfect man that's going to kiss their ass. They ain't never going to find it. They're going to find a sucker. You're going to be with him for a little while, but then you're going to be tired of him because you're weak.
And these things give in charge that they may be blameless.
Yeah, so warn them about this. All right. So this pleasure thing, that's not the way you're supposed to live your life in pleasure. Turning up, partying, drinking, women ain't even supposed to be really even getting drunk. All right. When they get drunk, they act stupid and they embarrass people. All right. What? We'll read it again.
Verse 7. And these things give in charge that they may be blameless.
Yeah, that's how you become blameless, by reading the scriptures and following the proper instruction. What?
But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house,
Right.
he have denied the faith, and is worse than infidel.
Infidel. Yeah, no faith. Mean faithful. Look the word up. Mean faithless, I believe. No faith.
Yep.
Yeah. So as a man, you know, we have what they call the masculine burdens of performance, and so we have to take care of our family, our wife and our children, and our women and our children are supposed to be in subjection. So if you're not in subjection, you ain't get taken care of. That's a simple fact. We don't. It's conditional. Okay, so if you're not in subjection, you ain't getting taken care of, and you have to submit first before you can get taken care of. All right, we don't got to prove shit to you. All right, we tell you a few things. It's how it's going to be. You're in subjection. All right, and you get our protection. All right, not the other way around. We don't got to dance around like a fucking monkey. Wear a bunch of clothes.
Just to
But
pressure.
and shout out some brands.
Fucking Levi.
Milano, not Levi.
Oh, you talking about the high
Milano, True Religion.
shit?
We don't got to dripped out in that
Gucci
shit
and Louis.
to prove to you that we can take care of you. Or look at this chain. Oh, that mean he got money. You know, dumb shit. Like, it don't mean he got money. It means he got a damn chain on. Right? But they'll look at a guy with a fit, a t-shirt that fit, jeans that fit, as a broke guy. You know? But they look at a dude with a chain on and the fucking glasses, fucking sunglasses. You think he got money. Well, what did the Paul say? He said, meat for the belly and belly for meats. And the Most High shall destroy both it and they. The body is not for fornication. And that's what they dudes that's dripped out and all that, they're using their body for fornication. Meaning they're not under the law of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Now back then, they had the idol worship and all that, and sitting down to eat meat with meat offered to the idols. They were heavily involved in different ceremonies and stuff. Now today, they're just worldly. They're doing the same thing, it's just worldly. They're not focused on keeping the commandments of the Lord, following the Lord to the best of your ability, serving the Lord. They're just involved in worldly things. It's partying and making money. It's all they're concerned about. All right, and that's idolatry. All right. You got more. You got precept you want to add before we continue? I want you to continue where you were at.
Just real quick.
Precept you want to add.
Just a quick one. This is the book of Titus, 2 and 4. It says, this is regarding to women. All right, Slaki. I get one more verse. It says the aged women, likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness.
Now, I want you to look up behavior since you read that word. You know, it's a recurring cadence going around about controlling men, being insecure. So I guess the Bible is insecure. That proves that most of you women are fucking heathens, and you're wicked, you're evil. So the Bible is controlling. So it says that the women be in behavior. I don't think I've ever looked this word up. I've looked up in a while.
We go to Katsa Stedema, which means demeanor or deportment or bearment. Also, talk about their demeanor.
Demeanor. So look up demeanor.
And demeanor.
That's a good word.
Yep. It's like we'll go.
That they be in behavior. Right.
Yeah, being quiet, basically modesty. Outward behavior or bearing quiet, somber demeanor, manner or appearance. That's all they got from here.
So generically, be in what type of behavior?
Yeah, outward manner.
Yeah, then we can look up the type of behavior a woman's actually supposed to conduct herself with. That they be in behavior. All right. So what type of behavior? Because behavior could be anything. It could be negative
goes into it
or positive. Go ahead, read it.
Oh, in the verse, it goes into, when we read down.
No, read it, be in behavior first.
Oh, behavior?
Okay. Be in behavior and then continue.
Okay. Yep. It says the aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers.
Yeah, as becometh holiness. Holiness means separated. Separated from what? The world, from the carnality. Holiness, what's the other word?
Not false accusers.
Not false accusers. I mean, tattletale, that's what women do. When they get together, they all hate each other and they talk shit about each other. Right? Not false accusers. Not gossiping.
Yeah.
Talebearers. Well, busybodies. Yeah.
Not given to too much wine.
And women do that now. They ain't supposed to be drinking like that.
Yeah.
Especially in public.
I think the other day
You want to drink, but drink in private with your husband. Don't be drinking out in public, getting all crazy, because women can't control themselves. That's why the Bible said, be in behavior, right? As becometh holiness. Right? Now, when the time of Jacob's trouble come, women are going to get in order. They're going to get right in line. They're going to be begging to learn. They're going to be begging to learn commandments. The men too, you'll be begging too, because you're going to be getting hot thunderbolts with the butt of the M16 rifle. All right, and starvation. All right, but you women, talking about women right now. You women, you're gonna be begging what you find the ugliest man to protect you, right? Because you women don't like most men, apparently. I guess that's the consensus. Most women don't like most men. But in that day, pursuant to what? Isaiah the 4th chapter. All right, you're gonna be begging the ugliest, fattest man. That's in the truth. All right, the Dr. Robotnik type dude, you know, to learn the commandments. You're gonna be begging a dude that look like Dr. Robotnik. They look like the violator from Spawn. They look like the violator from Spawn to learn the commandments, so you won't get murdered. You won't get kidnapped and taken and chained to what the elders say. You're gonna get chained to the bottom of chained to a pipe in a damn boiler room. To be rescued from that. You're going to want to be with the worst man you believe in the world to be with, just to learn the commandments so the Lord won't kill you. Yeah. All right?
Got a quick one.
Yeah, because right now, as it is, these women have abused themselves with over much liberty. That's the problem. Y'all have too much freedom.
Push up on that, yeah.
You have too much freedom. So.
Yeah, too much freedom. And a freedom give with no guidance. Let's say you can have freedom, right? But you don't have any guidance. You're gonna go fucking crazy. You're gonna want to turn up, drink, think you deserve the so-called man with a lot of money and status and all that.
Right.
But you're a piece of shit yourself.
Ain't nobody said that you can't have no freedoms.
Right.
Over much liberty. Over much. Meaning you have too much to be able to handle with it on your own. Like the brother said, you need guidance and instruction, okay? Because the result is, with that much liberty, you tend to abuse yourself. That's the reality.
Yeah, this is Dr. Robotnik right here. They renamed him Eggman, but his original name is Dr. Robotnik.
God.
You know?
You can see this man.
That's Dr.
This man
Robotnik,
look crazy, man.
But the younger kids, they know him as Eggman. Dr. Eggman or whatever, Eggman.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna be begging because you women are lazy. You don't like to be proactive. You be begging Dr. Robotnik, the violator dude, just to learn the commandments. And then that dude that look like that is gonna be a straight up nigga. And he gonna lead your ass into that damn basement chained up to the pipe. And he gonna have fun with you all day and all night and all morning and then the next day and the next day and the next day, because you're lazy and you don't want to listen. All right. Pay attention to what the prophets are saying right now, so later you know what to do. All right. So somebody else say something?
I had a This is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. It says, "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, right, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham."
Yeah, and most of you women don't even have husbands. I'm speculating. All right. You do that, you're good. All right. The holy women. Read that again.
God. This is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh."
Who trusted in the Most High. All right. Who trusted. All right, so they actually had faith. Good.
Yep. adorn themselves, being in subjection into their own husbands.
Yeah, being in subjection to their own husband. That means you don't. Your priority is not to work. All right, your priority is to work in the house first, and then outside. Then you can pick up like if your husband is not sufficient to take care of everything, you know, then you get like something part time here and there, so you can just pay like certain like your car note or whatever, insurance, and then your husband take care of everything else. All right. Read that again.
Yeah, this is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. It says, "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord."
Calling him Lord. Daughters, yeah.
Yep, whose daughters ye are.
Yeah, so you Israelite women, you're the daughters of Sarah, Rebecca, Leah. You're their daughters, and they were in subjection. So if the man tells you to go out to the field and work, you got to go out to the field and work. All right? So you got to do that. You can't resist just because your man telling you to work. All right? You're supposed to be in subjection to your husband. So if your man tells you to work in the house, outside the house, you're required to do that. All right? There's another consensus that women are free. You're not free. You're under your brother is ready. You're gonna read it again. You're not free. You're under subjection. Just like we're under subjection. 1 Corinthians 11 chapter. We're in subjection to the Lord, so we are bound to come out and preach. So I can't in turn want a woman to be subject to me, and I'm not subject to the Most High or subject to the leadership. Because you have a hierarchy. So if I want my woman to be submissive to me, I got to be submissive to the group. I can't say, I'm not saying this presumptuously or hypocritically, but I'm just acting. I'm just trying to control a woman. What we just read, being behavior, that's becoming holiness. That means you're restricted to doing certain things. The Most High is controlling. If you didn't know that, give me the scripture about the clay. Can the thing created be boast against the Creator?
Yep.
I want it in the New Testament, and I want it in Isaiah. Read it again.
Yeah, did you want me to start from the
Yeah,
top?
from top.
Yeah, so this is 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. It says, "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in Yahweh adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands."
Adorn themselves, meaning they covered their head, they dressed a certain way. All right. What?
Verse 6, "Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement."
Yeah, not afraid. Women are afraid. So read afraid. Can you look up afraid? You can't be afraid. All right. Stop on the switch. Yeah. So you can't be. So women. A lot of women are afraid. All right. A lot of women are afraid to be in subjection to their own husband. Read the last part again. Oh, bro. Get the word fear.
All right,
afraid with any amazement, and then read it again. So you're not supposed to be afraid. You're supposed to be willing to submit to your husband, because that's the order the Lord set up. So, like I said, we can't be hypocrites and not be in subjection to Yahweh Shai and be in subjection to the leadership and not require that of a woman. So we're in subjection to our elders and apostles. We're in subjection to the leaders, Yahweh Shai. So our women are supposed to, in turn, be in subjection to us. Only the women that's in the truth. Not the women that's halfway in and out and all that, and not in the truth. They're going to pretty much do, try to manage them as best you can. But they're not in the truth. I'm not really talking about that. Fear with any amazement.
Oh, Isaiah 29, 6. Yeah,
fear, I think fear and amazement might be a compound word, or it might be two individual words, but you're not supposed to fear.
Okay,
all right?
yeah, I got it.
Being submissive to your husband. Right?
Yep. So the word in Greek is phobeo. All right, it says to put to flight by terrifying.
Yeah, make you run around. You want me to prepare meals for the children, prepare meals for the house. You're gonna run away. You're gonna flee. What it say? Read it again.
Yeah, it says to put to flight by terrifying, to scare away.
Scare away. You scare. Oh, you want a submissive woman? Oh, they get scared. Oh no, I'm not doing that. Why? Because they fear. They fear keeping the commandments of the Lord. And guess what? What the penalty is? The penalty is if you don't do that, the Lord's gonna put you to death. That's going to be the penalty because you are not a man.
Well, another
Okay.
problem that modern day women have is that they've been told that they don't belong under the authority of anybody. That's a mentality that needs to be corrected. They don't really truly believe that they belong under anybody else's authority. And part of putting yourself in subjection, the word subjection literally means sub-under-jection, under someone else's authority. It's literally what the word subjection means. To put under another's authority.
Right.
And that's a big problem. That's the reason why you women get into the different situations that you get into. The purpose of you being under the authority of somebody else is so you got that guidance. So you're well ordered. That way those mistakes, they're mitigated. They could be avoided. That's the whole reason for that. That's the whole reason for an order. Now, you just look at the opposite. Well, what would be the opposite of that? Chaos, confusion, right? A woman has become a vehicle, an agent of chaos, right? A vehicle and an agent of chaos. That's why I just added my little spiritual 2 cents. It's going to take Jacob's trouble to get the majority of you women in line. That's what it's going to take.
We're not exaggerating.
That's why it's
hyperbole.
right. That's why Isaiah 4:1 is written. That's why Isaiah 4:1 is written. Because the bulk of the women, they're not really tuning in like that. There are a few of you that are an exception. But by and large, it's going to take a series of extreme events for you to realize the importance of order and what it means to be under the authority of somebody that is greater than you. Because we have the means to protect you and to secure you.
You got spiritual power.
That's all I
women
wanted
don't.
to say.
Yeah, women don't have that power, spiritual power. There's no scripture where a woman ever had spiritual power. I don't ever remember reading a scripture where a wise woman made somebody's hand whole again, or made somebody walk in that couldn't walk, or received their sight. It's all men. Women don't have that power with the Most High, with Yahweh, with the Lord. Just on that, you should automatically, something should click in your head, like, wait a minute, I ain't as great as I thought I was. Because no woman has that power. All men have that power, men of the Lord specifically. Right?
Like the analogy would be, again, going back to the point where they feel that they're not under anybody's authority and now all of a sudden they're equal. Well, the analogy would be if that was true, then when there was an intruder, 50% of the time you'd go and deal with it. Now, first of all,
times, they think they're superior.
that too. But first of all, I'm not entrusting my life in a weaker individual's hands. It's not a wise decision. All right? And remember that it benefits you for me to be on the front lines of where the danger is.
Right.
You benefit from that.
Right.
But I'm not going to put myself in that position if you fucking up and acting out.
Right.
That's why the brother said you got to submit first.
Yeah.
And it all comes back
Right,
full
yeah.
circle because that's the point. We submit to Yahweh Shai, so we are enabled in that day to be protected from him. As a byproduct of that, you will be protected by us.
Exactly. Right. So when we heard the word of the Lord, we submitted to what the elder Apostle Paul was saying, and the elders, what they were saying. In 34th and 7th, they had the signs out there saying America was going to be destroyed. So we submitted to their word. So women, you got to do the same thing to the prophets, and really to your husband in the world too. But you ain't going to do that. But Yahweh Shai is going to cause the event to happen, man. It's going to scare the shit out of everybody, and women going to come running, rolling. Because remember, you ain't getting spiritual power, woman. You black woman, you Latino woman, Native American woman, you're not getting no spiritual power, right? So if you think you is, you better read them scriptures a little bit harder. Maybe read them in a different language or something. Maybe read the NIV. Who read the NIV earlier? Did somebody read another? You read the NIV? Maybe you need to read that to get your competency level on who gonna get spiritual power. Because women, you're not going to get that power. Your husband's going to get that power.
All right, we just going to do a quick rotation. So just hold that. The scriptures in